Alright, the video I just made. Oh shit. The video I just made. The video. The video I just made. I just wanted to say a quick comment on it. So, watch the last one. It's, today, 3 sentients. Even though I posted it like 3 minutes before midnight and it took like 5 minutes to upload, so it might like post the same day as today, which is technically tomorrow. But what I wanted to say about it was any of those 3 animals that I just posted, there was a fawn and a turkey, the biggest turkey tom I've ever seen. It doesn't show it perfectly in the video, and when I did mention like, wow, what a big bird. But later that day, when I was down, because where I was at, it wasn't a road, it's actually a long driveway at this house I work at every year. And it's like way up on this big back hill, and it's this dude who's this, not saying like whatever, but multimillionaire, maybe a billionaire, but I don't know. I don't know his exact gig, but like I go there every year to do maintenance on his house, and his house has a lot of maintenance because the trim that his house was built with is like some of the shittiest lumber I've ever seen. And like it's stucco and it's on this big mountain, and it's a little bit kind of like the wrong like region to build that kind of house in a certain way. Well, if you want it to last without maintenance. But I guess he liked the look, and that's his gig, and that's his perspective, and that's cool, and that gives me work, and that feeds me. It could have been built differently, and I could not have work and a paycheck. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic, but anyway, so I was on this driveway, and earlier in the day, because when I first got there I saw the deer, and then later at lunchtime I left to go down to the Ace to buy some stucco-y substrate, subcoat, sub-stucco material. And that's when I saw the turkey. So there's a fawn, which I saw when I first got there. There's the turkey that I saw when I got back from, well, it was about lunchtime. It was after lunch, but that's when I went to the store. It's convenient to go to the store at lunchtime. I'll let you figure out why. It's a riddle. It's not even really a riddle, but why is it convenient to go to the store for work at lunchtime? Saves time. And then later in the day, so it's like morning, noon, and night. 3 different sentient beings. And anyway, what's interesting about that is that, well, depending on the time of year, or depending if no one's looking, especially since there's no record, like, I would be allowed to kill any of those things. I'm allowed by the law of man, I'm allowed by the law of man to kill any of those things, right? As it so happens, I killed 3 black flies today. I tried to kill a 4th. The 3 that I killed were the ones who I felt stinging me, the ones who I felt biting me, the ones who hurt me. Those were the 3 I killed. They were locked in. They were locked into my flesh. So they didn't notice when I was like and they were over. There was a fourth one I tried to kill because it was like just annoying the fuck out of me, but I couldn't get him. There were tens or hundreds others surrounding me that I just kind of let be, that weren't bothering me. Why was that other one I tried to kill bothering me when the rest weren't? I don't know. But the fawn and that big turkey, no. Yeah, what I was going to say is that turkey later in the day was circling around the house from where I filmed the grasshopper. Because, yeah, it's like one long driveway and then it splits in two, and one driveway goes down to the barn, which is like a 4-story garage, apartment, workshop, tons of tractors, different trucks, ATVs, all this, like, so to call it a garage, it's a garage that, like, makes, well, not only my apartment is, my apartment would be like the, anyway, but anyway, one goes down to the garage, one goes down to the house, so, down by the house, if we say the grasshopper was at like the east side of the house. Anyway, 90 degrees around, I saw the turkey again. And I saw him from way far off, and he looked as big as a fucking like German Shepherd or a wolf. Like, it's the biggest male turkey I've ever seen. By far, almost twice as big as any male turkey I've ever seen. It doesn't necessarily show up in that video, in this video, in the previous video I posted, but just the most enormous fucking male turkey I've ever seen. Huge. And that was awesome. It was awesome. Especially considering the symbolism that stretches 10,000 years back. Thereabouts. Of the wild turkey, man. Made me so happy. And then the fawn, Bambi, also made me sad because I was wondering about his mom. Back before 2015, 2015 is like a turning point in my life, you know. So back before I understood I was on the radar, I had this other event happen. Just down the driveway, where I was standing with my boss, and okay, so there's like the main house, and there's the garage, which looks like a mansion. Like the garage looks like a mansion to me. And but then there's this other like separate tractor garage, and then there's like this other separate like outbuilding guardhouse, gatehouse. But anyway, we were standing outside the third or the second garage, and out by the tennis court. And me and my boss were talking, and then all of a sudden it was an older fawn than the one in this video. It was a more adolescent fawn. And like, we're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, from over the horizon comes this young adolescent deer. It ran right between us. It ran right in front of me. Right in front of my face with its tongue hanging out backwards. Though then it was more in the autumn. It was actually probably approaching Thanksgiving time. It may have been in hunting season, and I just remember like after it. And I remember like we're just standing there, and we're both just kind of like in shock, like what the fuck? And this deer runs like right. I'm here, my boss is just like right there. This deer like runs right between us, with its tongue hanging out to the side. Frantic. Goes goes down over the hill, more close across the road from like where I just shot that video. Kind of zigzags back and forth and then pew, off into the woods. But like completely frantic and crazy. And I remember the first thing that came to my mind, and actually I remember my boss said, I've never seen that before, which was exactly what I was thinking. And but I remember the first thing that came to my mind was like, he's going crazy because he just saw one of his parents killed. He just saw his mom killed. Because it was approximately in the hunting season, and maybe it wasn't, but that's what came to mind. Like, this dude just went fucking ape. This is a kid. This is an adolescent kid. This is a middle school, an early teenager who just went crazy because he just saw his mom getting killed. Like, that's just what came to mind, because I couldn't imagine any other thing that would make something do that. It was so out of character. I've never heard anything like that. And that's what happened. You might be saying, oh, you're just telling a story. Well, I am telling a story, yes, but I'm telling you 100%, swear on my life, like, that happened. And anyway, getting into the whole idea of the three sentients that I saw today, sentient beings. And it's so interesting that a deer, my deer, Bambi, the call of a baby deer, that voice, how it sounds. Ah! So close to a human. So close to a human baby, a human child, so close. And then the turkey. I'll leave that for another time. And then the grasshopper. I don't know what grasshoppers eat. They may be as murderous as spiders, but we don't think of them that way. But that climbing, that striving. Anyway, depending on the time of year, I'm allowed to kill any of them. I'm allowed to eat any of them. The grasshopper, there's no law on. I can kill it, eat it, piss on it, take it. I can do whatever I want with a grasshopper. I'm allowed by human law that we've agreed upon. Mm-hmm. No one would stop me. But then the black flies, I killed them. They were three other sentient beings. But they were three other sentient beings feeding on me. And it hurt. And I didn't like it. I had a cat named Lucky for a lot of years. He's gone now. Lucky ate meat. Lucky ate cat food. Lucky liked cat food, and Lucky liked tuna. And the only vegetable Lucky ever ate was cantaloupe. Lucky liked cantaloupe. He'd always eat the cantaloupe. So if I cut open a cantaloupe and like dug out the seeds and threw them in his dish, he'd lick that shit. He just loved it. He'd lick it like he was licking an open can of tuna. So this is controversial, though it shouldn't be. What if we thought about eugenics that way? Because cats can't be vegan. Or at least that's what we think. What if they could be? And what if they couldn't be now as they are? But what if that propensity that my cat had the propensity, my cat had the propensity because of some chemical compound, because of some flavor, because of some flavonoid in cantaloupe. I say Lucky. The cat I called Lucky, my friend. One of my only friends. Loved cantaloupe. Loved it. I didn't have to ask him. You could tell because he was like... So, even though maybe he today can't be vegan, what if that propensity toward that love of cantaloupe is the Aristotelian final cause or the teleological pull of the future trying to make cats vegan? Future causes, pull, intentions, goals, the pull of the goal to take the most murderous thing and make it benevolent. And people deride one of the meat eater derisions against eating plants is like, well, it's still an alive thing, this, that, whatever. Yeah, but it's different when you're eating fruit. It's different to say, oh, well, that fruit wanted to be a tree. You'd only have to go about like 7 generations out of one tree and all of the seeds. If every seed from one tree planted, and then every seed from all of the second generation planted, grew seeds, planted, grew. It would only take like 7 generations before there wasn't anything else on the earth. You know, I could be wrong about the 7. It might be 5, it might be 15, but like, what I'm saying is like eating fruits, the fallen fruits, the detritus. Eating the vegetables is benevolent. It's not the same thing. You're not killing. When you eat a pepper, you're not eating you're not killing an animal. The seed. Oh, you're eating the seeds, right? What's a human seed? What's my seed? Right? I'm sorry to be gross about it, but I'll put it in stark contrast if I have to. I'll put it in stark analogies if I have to. If you perversely eat my dick and don't actually like bite off my dick, right? God, this is so awful, but whatever. It rings true, right? I'll let you do the math on it, but eating seed ain't eating the plant. If you eat my seed, you ain't eating me. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. But yet it's fucked up to talk about it like this. But I'd imagine anyone who's watching this has been there. So it ain't fucked up. It's part of life. But yet, life evolves. it's not easy to talk about these things. Because even in our own minds, even in my mind, in one context I could talk about these things, just be like blam 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 blam, ha ha ha, no problem. But then when I'm trying to be like serious, then it's like